Hi, I'm Laura and welcome back to the Tarot Genie for this week's lesson in the cards of the Tarot. Today we're going to talk about the Six of Cups. Just gaze at that image. First take in the number 6, which is associated with nurturing, groups, community, etc. I would just say that how I remember 6 is groups of people, community, etc. Now we have in this particular image, well, we have 2 children and then there's a guard in the distance. But there is the sense this card is associated with the idea of community in a way. What's most important about the 6 of Cups is, one, we'll first take in the 6 cups, golden chalices. Each of them is filled with a beautiful flower. So it's important to note that. So these cups suggest something of value, and the flowers represent things, life that's blooming and blossoming. Also, we see the young girl who in this image is the receiver. She is receiving a flower, and what's probably the person in this image is probably her brother, her older brother, who is tenderly offering her a flower. And he is the giver. So we have this sense of, again, that 6 of giving and receiving. And that's just and I get the sense of flow between them, a flow of love and flow of tender energy, in addition to the actual physical giving and receiving of the flower. Also, what we have here, it's a warm image. Just look at the yellow house, the yellow ground. We just get that sense of warmth. And there's also, if you could see, it's a little bit difficult. If you see that watchman walking towards the background, towards the home, he conveys the sense of security. So it's this, overall, this card provides or exudes the energy of feeling, of tenderness, of security, of home and hearth, in a way, I would say, as well. And as far as the overall concepts, the 6 of Cups in most Rider-Waite, this is the Rider-Waite deck, and Rider-Waite-like decks, is associated with the concept of nostalgia. Looking back to a time when there was tenderness, or not that there isn't tenderness now, but looking back to two times when there was all this warmth and beauty and tenderness and sense of security, of being home, of growing up, that kind of thing. It relates to happy memories, childhood memories. Often there's a sense of generosity because we have this giving and receiving. The young boy is tenderly giving his sister a beautiful flower. The flowers represent beauty in addition to blossoming. They represent beauty, appreciation of life. It's almost like the literal advice, take time to smell the roses. That's what he's doing. A time of innocence. All of that rolled into one. Now, if the card appears reversed in a reading, it could suggest that someone's stuck in the past, that they're not willing to move forward. It all depends, of course, on the question that you ask. It could be someone who's mourning old times, old days. They thought, oh, the old times were better than they are now, etc. Someone's stuck in that way. It could also suggest, depending on the question, an invitation to look back and reflect on a previous time, that maybe there's some insights that you need to remember from that previous time. All of that can be associated with the card when it's reversed. I would like to address the whole issue of reversals. There's some readers who don't like to read reversals at all, and that's their preference, that's their prerogative. I, however, feel the teachers that I studied under emphasize that when you do interpret reversals, you get at least double more meaning. You double the number of meanings in the whole deck, because not only do you have 78 cards when they're upright, but then the 78 meanings associated with that, then you've got double that when you reverse them. And I've also noticed that, yes, reversals can represent a whole slew of possibilities, whether it's weakened energy, inverted energy, the negative side of what's in the card, or internal energy, or delayed energy. It's a whole host, and I just think it adds a richness to a reading. The song that I came up with for this card that represents nostalgia is Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen. So I'll include a link to that in the notes. And also I would like to say I won't recommend a particular book this week because I am going to start adding a whole playlist of book and deck recommendations over the next month or so. I'm going to start expanding the channel to include that information. I also welcome any of your requests for information that you'd like to learn about the tarot. So I'm starting basically with the basic meanings of the cards, then I'm going to recommend certain products, books, and decks, etc. Any tools, tarot tools, and that, I don't know what that noise was, and hope to kind of enrich and round out the information that I'm sharing here. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like personal reading with me, go to my website, thetarotgenie.com. And for next week, we will be talking about the Seven of Cups, which is the card associated with fantasy and illusion. Until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot.